Due to my professional activity, I have seen some of the negative effects of the mining industry in the health of the people around it. And believe me, it's really sad to see how many are struggling with their bad health, suffering of blindness and more illness that they are going to live with for the rest of their lives. That's what this activity has done to many of the poor people that use the contaminated waters of the mining activity. Also, we'll have heard about the adverse impacts of the mining industry in the environment. It's a fact that this planet needs a rest from this activity. It's well known for the scientific community and the academy that the tourism industry is making more profits than by mining, and profits are reached by a larger amount of people than the profits produced by the companies that exploit minerals. Just think of this. The tourism moves in a much larger way the economy of the countries because it has a wider impact in society. For example, tourism leaves more money to the transportation companies, to the catering companies that have to produce food, activists, all the companies of entertainment, amusement parks, the construction companies, among others that produce direct or indirect jobs around the activity. Meanwhile, the mining companies only share a little percent of their profits in the form of royalties. Have you ever wondered why so many countries in Africa and Latin America with large mineral resources being exploited remain so poor? Because most of the revenues of those rich don't stay in the country. The mining company take them out of these places, leaving them with the contaminated soils and without natural resources. Just hear what the Minister of Tourism, Martinus van Schalwyk of South Africa, a country that makes a lot of its income from the mining activity, said regarding this subject. Open quote. South Africa's mining industry employs thousands of people, but the moving tourism sector creates more jobs. Tourism's direct contribution to gross domestic product had increased to $48 million in 2011. Mining is a key industry creating jobs for thousands and thousands of people. Tourism is creating more jobs than the mining industry. It's important that we understand that. End of quote. And I agree with that. We have to understand and support an industry that is creating more jobs and better quality of life for all of us. Let's see another example from another country that is one of the largest producers of coal, Australia. An investigation made there about the tourism that they received only from China gave them this result. If the tourism number from China were to increase at 10% per year for the next 15 years, the tourism industry will bring more money into the country than the mining industry or the agricultural industry. Now let's talk about the impact that mining industry leaves in the planet. The prestigious MIT University, it's in its study called The Future of Strategic Natural Resources Mission 2016, explains the environmental damages of mining. They say, environmental hazards are presented during various steps of the open mining process. Hard rock mining exposed rock that has lain unexposed for geological eras. When crushed, this rock exposed radioactive elements, asbestos like minerals and metallic dust. And about the underground mining, they advise during separation, residual rock slurries, which are a mixture of pulverized rock and liquid, are produced as tailings toxics and radioactive elements from these liquids can leak into bedrock if not properly contained. Most underground mining operations increase sedimentation in nearby rivers through their use of hydraulic pumps and suction derricks. Blasting with hydraulic pumps removes ecologically valuable topsoil containing seed banks, making it difficult for vegetation to recover. Deforestation due to mining leads to the disintegration of biomes and contributes to the effects of erosion. And this is not mentioning the damages that the activity has produced to many of the workers of the mining industry, the thousands of men that have died of cancer after the exposition for years to these elements, plus the thousands that have died because of the often accidents in the underground mining. Mining industry defends themselves by saying that there are many ways to produce it in a clean, safe, and friendly form with the environment. But actually, the results are others. The results of this activity in many places of my country have become a public calamity, with poisoned waters and many children with congenital malformations for the use of mercury. The mining industry companies defend themselves, arguing that tourism also have a negative impact in nature and also is managed by large multinational companies that take their revenues out of those countries. About this, Diego Carrillo Sanchez, an important economist from Colombia, in his book FX Compare Extractive Economic Tourism of the Mining says, tourism in this country is one of the sectors of the economy with less market concentration. This means that the larger companies fail to influence too much of the terms of trade, while 44% of other productive sectors in the country record high market concentration, according to the Superintendence of Market Control. Mining consumes 7.7 times more water than tourism. Oil industry consumes 8.6 more times. and the degree of contamination is greater because mining shed toxic waste and heavy metals, while tourism wastes are primarily organic material. Tourism will produce in 30 years half of solid waste that mining would produce in a day. There's no way that we can compare these two industries in their contamination capacity. There is one form of tourism that has a much lesser impact in nature and leaves greater revenues for the countries that promote it. It is called ecotourism. And this is the cause of Costa Rica now. There are 60% less poor population in the past, and then simple to understand, tourists spend more money when local people ensure that they enjoy their stay. Ecotourism favors sustainability, preservation, and appreciation of environments, both natural and cultural, that welcomes and sensitizes travelers. There are many bills that are trying to promote laws to make the mining companies to start to use clean techniques of exploitation or to make them repair the damage caused by them. I want to invite you to seek for those kinds of bills in your states or countries and support them. Remember that this is the only way to push them to be responsible for their actions against the environment and the people.